I just love trolling these idiots with these Star Wars spoilers. There you go, you jerk. Guess what? Beep. Oh, what an idiot. He wanted to see the movie without it being ruined. Oh, this totally makes me feel better about my micro penis.
How many times has this exact scenario played out? Well, now there's someone that can help. Call us, and this will be your justice.
Who's there?
Who's it right now? There he is!
Wait,
Let's get him!
listen, oh, what was that?
Oh, God! Oh, my God!
Yeah, you punched me right in the throat!
Troll punchers, call us, and we'll find them.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Nerds on Tap. This is a podcast where we talk about nerdy stuff and drink beer. Yep, I'm Joseph.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Jim.
And today, it's going to be kind of a special episode. It's going to be a little different than our typical ones because we'll be closing out 2015 with our massive, bulging recap.
Oh,
We've
God.
been around... Yeah.
How did you make our episode sound dirty already?
Record time. Record time.
Just let them know what they're getting themselves into. Any new listeners.
We're seconds in and we're already like rated R.
PG-13, I think. So we've been around for a little while now. Some might say too long. I would.
We've overstayed our welcome already.
Yeah.
It's been like, as we're recording this, it's been like just like a day over a year since we launched.
Right,
Yeah.
since the first episode launched, so...
Now that we've hit our year mark, why don't we reflect back on some highlights, some lowlights, and give our thoughts on this past year as a whole.
I was going to say, before we do that, how about we talk about beer real quick?
Oh, fuck me in the dick.
We can talk about some beer.
Well, I'm drinking a fruit barrel right now. Remember those guys?
Okay, explain the fruit barrel.
You guys remember back in the day when you used to go to the grocery store and for whatever reason they were in the produce section? And they're those little plastic barrels that have the foil on top and they have like, you know, delicious juice like grape and green and
Purple
blue
flavor.
Yeah, it's not even grape, it's purple.
They were in like crates below the bananas everywhere at Shop and Save and shit.
Yeah, right. Little Hug fruit barrels. Yeah, but I didn't call them. I just call them juice barrels. When you were a kid in the summer, these things gave you fucking magical powers. Like they were our mana juice. Like we'd chug these down and be like, all right, I can run around like an idiot now for 25 minutes and then crash hard.
How are they now?
They have less sugar, so they're not as good.
Oh, no more magic.
Yeah.
The magic's gone.
They cut the magic in half.
It went the way of our breakfast cereals.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat healthy Cinnamon Toast Crunch. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, right? But now it's okay because now we're adults, and instead we have beer, which is our new magic elixir that makes us feel invincible and say inappropriate things in parties and not feel any kind of remorse.
So do you have a beer today, or are you just drinking the little...
Oh,
Hug?
no, I got fucking beer. You guys talk about yours first, though.
All right. Okay, Chris, how about yours?
Okay, so I'm drinking, it's called S'more Stout by Base Camp Brewing Company. And it's from Portland, Oregon, so this is a hipster beer. And
put a bird on it.
It's basically, it's like it sounds. I mean, it's a chocolatey beer. So I poured it. It's really dark. It's got a creamy tan head on top. Lightly carbonated and mostly malt, not a lot of hop. You can definitely smell and taste the chocolate. Super, super, super good. Also, it kind of tastes, there's a little bit of nuttiness and a little bit of fruitiness to it too, like maybe some kind of dried fruit. But absolutely delicious. Definitely would get it again. And it comes in a cool aluminum bottle that is eco-friendly.
Is there an indicator on that bottle to tell you when it's cold, or do you just use your hands like an adult?
I use my hands and other body parts.
Perfect.
like an adult.
So I wanted a winter beer, obviously. So I was at a ugly sweater party, and we did like a white elephant thing where we had all these gifts and they kept being passed around and stuff. And one of them ended up being a 12-pack of beer, ping pong balls, and some red cups. But the beer was the New Belgium Accumulation, their winter white IPA.
Ooh.
I did not get that gift, but I stole one when the person wasn't looking. So, because I wanted to try it.
Nice.
So yeah, it's their white IPA. I was like, you know what? I really like Blue Moon's white IPA, so I wanted to try it, and it's pretty good for an IPA. You know, it's not as good as the Blue Moon one. It is pretty similar.
Cool.
Mostly because I think the Blue Moon one has like the coriander and stuff, and this doesn't, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really like the Blue Moon white IPA.
I like the Blue Moon one because it's not as hoppy.
Yeah,
This one is a little bit on the edge of being too hoppy, but it's not too much that I won't be able to drink it. So
I'll have to give that a try. I've actually never even seen that one.
I think this
in
one's
the store.
new. I think this one's like
that
brand
would be
new.
why.
Yeah, I've never
Cool.
seen it before either. So.
Accumulation.
Accumulation.
Nice.
They're white India Pale Ale,
Sweet.
6.2% alcohol by volume.
Yeah, what was yours, Chris?
The alcohol?
Yeah.
It is. It doesn't say, so it can't be a lot. 4 or less,
Probably
I'm sure.
4.
Oh, wait, I found it. Nope, 7.7.
Damn.
Oh shit!
Whoops.
You win.
That's going to be rough because my next one's going to be high, too.
All right, what do you got, Joseph?
Yeah, for me, I actually went Holiday 2, of course, because 'tis the season. I am doing Lakewood's Holiday Bonus, which is a festive American porter. 6.6% alcohol, so not as strong as Chris. I thought I was going to win, so I shouldn't have even asked your ass.
I'll show you a
Here we
holiday
are.
bonus.
This one's, it pours really dark. It's practically black in my Undertaker cup, so it kind of makes sense. It's seasonal beer brewed with chocolate and orange peel.
Nice.
It's kind of smooth and light, surprisingly. It's slightly carbonated with the medium hop to it, but definitely not overly hoppy.
Nice.
The orange peel overpowers a chocolate flavoring, kind of, which I actually prefer because I don't care for beers that are overly chocolatey, because then it's basically like I'm drinking like bad chocolate milk or something.
Right.
For me personally, I'm not a big chocolate beer fan, so this one goes down just fine. I think it's an awesome seasonal beer, and I'd say give it a shot if you have a chance.
Nice.
This is Lakewood Brewery, which is here in Texas.
Yeah, we should note that we're recording this before Christmas, so we still haven't slid all the way in the holidays yet.
Oh, yeah.
But-
And how about that Star Wars movie? Man,
Oh
it
my
was great.
God, it
Oh,
exists. It exists.
I can't believe that everyone is dead. Oh,
Man,
It was predictably amazing.
Kylo Ren made a chocolate. Who called that coming?
yeah, this is like a couple days before Star Wars, so we're all like on the edge. We're ready.
Yeah, Captain Phasma is Jar Jar Binks' wet nurse. I
Oh,
don't know.
yeah, definitely. It definitely is. Darth Banks is going to be the new emperor.
Did you see where Andy Serkis said he was going to be playing a dark side Jar Jar in this movie?
Oh, shit. Perfect.
Well,
That'd be fucking
Jar
great.
Jar was in the dark side. He fucking gave all the power to Palpatine like a moron.
The whole time. The whole time.
Dumbass.
It
Anyway,
was him behind the scenes. He was Darth Sidious.
Anyway,
Or
this
no, he was Darth. What was,
Plagueis.
Yes, Plagueis.
All right, this episode started out as a mess. Let's get this thing back on track.
Yeah, it did.
Let's start this right off by talking about how we got the show started, our struggles, and how it's progressed. How did we end up where we are?
Well, the whole thing kind of started when you and I met, I guess, which was because of your other podcast.
Which was because you were reviewing a different podcast.
I was
of mine.
reviewing, a podcast of yours that isn't currently airing right now. But that's how we met. We kept in touch, and then you were pushing me to do a show, and I was like, "Fuck, I don't know what I'm doing." So I was like, "Well, if I'm doing one, you're helping." And then we kind of got the ball rolling.
Yeah, and then you were like, hey, my friend Jim's real smart about nerd stuff, and he wants to join in. So I'm like, okay, I don't know.
Being real smart about nerd stuff means I'm fucking stupid. In like regular terms.
Yeah, so I was like, well, I don't know you, but yeah, bring everybody in who you want. So
Right.
I kind of met Jim like right after I met you, and now you guys, I would say, are some of my best friends. So, and this is only, I know, right? We'll start off with some mushy stuff, which I'm sure we'll have more of throughout the show.
Like for those that don't know, we talk like every single day. Like there usually is not a day that the three of us don't talk a little bit. So yeah, it's been an interesting and progressing friendship.
So you would think that the show would be better because of it.
Oh, however, like this is what happens when you mix alcohol with like a bunch of really nerdy dudes that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So
we're nerdy about everything but audio and the tech that goes along with that.
I don't have time. Nobody got time for that.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I have that printed out on my computer at work. So whenever somebody asks me to do something I don't want to do, I just point at it.
Nobody got time for that.
But yeah, we were working on the show for a long time before we actually recorded, because I think we started figuring things out, I want to say in like August or something like that, the year that we started recording, so August 2014. And we didn't record our first episode till like November, and it didn't come out until December. So we worked on it for a long time.
It's true. We did a big batch.
Also,
but like,
also
I mean, you,
surprising.
Chris, how long have we known each other? I know it's been a while.
We've probably known each other about 8 years, I think.
Jesus Christ.
It's been about 8 years. And the first time me and him hung out was on World of Warcraft.
Yeah. Pirate Hunters.
On Azeroth. Yeah, that was our guild, Pirate Hunters, which was named after a porn. So.
I never understood. Were we pirates that hunted, or were we hunters that hunted pirates?
I think we hunted pirates for
good.
sex.
Right.
Yeah.
For their booty.
Yeah.
Literally.
I'm sure that's a line in the movie. I haven't seen it, but I'm sure that's a line. It's got to be.
If not, missed opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, you lived here. You lived in this basement, actually.
Yeah, actually, where Jim's recording, I lived there for a little bit.
Yeah.
As far as our struggles, we still struggle. We struggled doing this episode because I was recording from the wrong microphone, and then the cat bit through my headphone cord, so I couldn't hear them, and I didn't know what was going on. I was like, why did this happen? Oh God! And this is typical. Something goes wrong almost every episode.
Yeah, and that's especially when you bring a guest in. Like, you don't know what their connection is going to be like or whatever. Which, you know,
down my beer.
Our fucking first guest we have, and he has like a dial-up modem. He's like hand crank. He's out of breath as he's talking because he's hand cranking the fucking thing.
Right. Yeah, that's one of the more difficult things. Is anytime we bring a guest on, we have no idea what their connection is going to be like, and up until now, we always did it on Skype. And the way Skype works is if somebody's starts having problems, it reduces the bandwidth for the entire call to try to make up for it. And it usually just makes the whole thing go to shit. Yeah, everyone sounds like crap. Except Joseph. Joseph always sounds good.
So in this time that we've been recording, have we progressed, do you guys think? Or are we pretty much the same with slightly, I don't know, maybe slightly improved audio?
I think we've progressed a little bit. I think the quality all around is increased a bit. I mean, our audio quality's increased a little bit. More so lately just because we dropped video, because that was our big problem. We were ambitious trying to do both, and it was not working the way that we wanted to. We were having a lot of problems with it, so...
Like, we thought, okay, YouTube, that's the way to get noticed, because people get noticed on YouTube all the time. And we just farted it out, and nothing happened from it.
Yeah.
The reason I know that we just were doing this for like a year, because Facebook Memories had me go back, and I was starting to post about the show and stuff. Because we recorded like, 5 episodes before we launched?
Yeah.
So we could have it all on iTunes, and I listened to a little bit of the first show and went, wow, why did people ever listen to this?
Well, I mean, my audio was terrible that first episode because I did exactly what I did at the beginning of this episode and started recording from the wrong microphone.
Yeah. I have to check it every time because I've done it too. And I mean, I feel like we're at least a little bit above average of the norm. Because I've heard some podcasts where I'm just like, I can't listen to more than 5 minutes of this because it just sounds awful and there's no direction to it. And it's one of those things where just people are just like, oh, I could do a podcast, and they just put a microphone in a room with their friends and just like go on for hours. And you're just like, there's no content here. Yeah.
They don't pre-plan it at all. And like you were talking about earlier, we did pre-plan this. Believe it or not, there was a lot of work that went into the pre-production of this show. So we have a format. We don't always follow it, and I forget it a lot. But overall,
well, see, Joseph is on so many shows that he forgets where he is sometimes.
Yeah. Which one is this Saturday? Am I recording like 8 more different podcasts?
He's like, wait, am I doing the cartoon one? Are we talking about sex? Are we talking about sex during watch cartoons? What show is this?
You got your furry fisting Adventure Time network and
yeah.
You get that weird one. It's just about leprechauns. Like, I don't understand that one, Joseph.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Irish. So shut the fuck up. No, but I think overall our banter has gotten better. When it's just episodes with the three of us, I think those are some of our better episodes because we don't have a new element in the show.
Those are the ones that get the most listens and most downloads are the ones where it's just the three of us, which surprised me because I expected everyone to like us getting other people on, so it gave them a break from listening to just us. But if you're listening, let us know, like if that's how you feel, or if you think otherwise. If you want to hear more guests, less guests,
give
us some feedback.
Right now, the plan is less guests. We're not going to drop guests because we keep running into people that we like and we think will be good, entertaining or whatever. Plus, we're not going to be like, oh, we had Doug Jones on, let's never have him again.
Yeah. He's cut off.
But yeah, I don't know. We're starting to put the hammer down on some things. I've started to get to the point where we have to say no to people, which is weird.
That is weird. Yeah, we've had to do that a couple times now.
So before all the shows, we usually have a sponsor, and then we also have a recap between the shows. So what is everybody's favorite one of those, if we can remember back that far, because we've done so many now? I'm
a total narcissist, and I go back and listen to just the recaps and the sponsors.
Oh, wow.
They're fun to do, and I'm a creative person, and I always feel like I need some sort of creative output, and those right now are it for me.
Yeah, those
because I work an 8-hour job, and then I come home and I got 2 kids to take care of. I barely can squeeze this in as it is. I don't know. I mostly like the ones I did, I guess. No, I don't know. We've had some really good ones lately too. I think though one of my favorites will always be the RoboCop, the Robo Dad, TGIF. And again, that was all me. So,
and that
we played parts in it, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I was the wife.
Yeah.
Oh God, I forgot about that. Well,
I think I was a teenager or something.
Yeah, you were a kid. You were a tiny kid. You were like, you're a good cop, but you sure are a swell dad.
Yeah. That's what it sounded like too.
I was the teen daughter.
You were the. Oh my God.
Yeah, that one's fun. That one was really good.
See, I think my favorite ones are the ones where I get to do the craziest voices. The last one I did, the Grinch one, was one of my favorites just because I love how the Grinch voice came out. Because it just sounds ridiculous. And I'm trying to think of some of the other ones I enjoyed the Scooby-Doo one that we did.
I was going to say, that one was really elaborate, and that was mostly you.
I put a lot
You wrote that one, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that we actually script is we write these, but sometimes it's literally the day of, so it's not a lot of time, but but we'll come up with an idea, we'll write like a little skit with it, and we'll usually have to change a couple things, and then we do it. But that one was really long, really involved. I probably spent like 12 hours on the sponsor alone, so
it's crazy.
And it's for, 3 minutes of audio? I spent, 12 hours.
Well, it's a solid premise, and there's some good jokes in there. The production quality is there, so I think it turned out well worth it.
Yeah, that was a good one. One I also liked. I liked doing it, at least. I haven't listened to it, because I really don't listen to our shows after the fact. I can't do it. I lived it. Why would I listen to it? But I liked the one where I got to do the Monster Vision thing. That was
that was a good one. I liked that one a lot. That was great. And that was totally you, too. Like, you wrote the whole thing and performed the whole thing yourself. My favorite part of that was watching you do it, because you got, like, you put your arms all the way down at your sides and got really stiff, and you were, like, turning sideways and doing it. It was so funny.
I had to reenact the TNT Monster Vision guy.
Yeah, great. Because sometimes we do it, we'll record it separately, and other times we'll do it just as we start the show. We'll just record the lines, and then Chris edits it later. And there's been times where I wrote it, and then I had them give me lines, and then I edit it. But most of the time, it's Chris that edits together with the show. And I think another one of my favorite ones was the one that starts out like the NPR. Like this, Joseph does like the best like NPR.
Oh yeah.
Like announcer voice.
Oh. What was that? Was the one with your cousin, right?
Yeah, so he starts with talking about the Raise Occult books, and then it goes into the lawyer who's like spearheading a class action lawsuit to everyone that was involved when Stay Puft Marshmallow Man exploded on everything.
Was it Vince Gobblini?
Vince Gobblini. So that was good. Yeah, my cousin Ed, he actually has a podcast called Voice of the Republic, and it used to be Star Wars centric, and now they kind of do movies and stuff. And they were gone for a while. Well, they actually just started up again. So if you want to search for a pretty good pop culture podcast that usually they try to focus on Star Wars, but not always, Voice of the Republic's pretty cool. But yeah, I had asked him to do that because I can kind of do a New York accent, but I didn't want to. I wanted it to sound different because at that point it was like always us doing the voice, and I thought it'd be cool to throw someone else in to give it more credibility. And he fucking knocked it out of the park. Like, he did such an amazing job. And he actually showed up again as Luke Skywalker in the Tashi station, the Merle Tashi spot, which that one was fun, too. I had fun writing that one. That one I just thought, what if Merle Tashi was an old codger who was racist? And I feel like, how awesome would it be to be racist in the Star Wars universe? You could hate everyone.
Oh, yeah, there's so much hate to go around. Yeah. Oh, the Mario teaches sex education one was one of my favorites. I think I'm going to go with that one as being my all-time favorite because I think that one we just went, like, all out, and it sounds great. Like,
it turned out great, and I think we just wanted an excuse for me to do the Mario again.
Yeah.
You just wanted me to get...
I love the idea of writing a lot of dirty jokes in the Mario universe. So my favorite line was it doesn't matter if it's a Princess Peach or a princess with a toadstool. Always use proper lubrication before you ride your partner like Yoshi.
Yeah, that was, for me, that was really fun to do.
We're including everyone.
My favorite... I really like when you guys write something and then you're just like, all right, here's the parts. Who wants to play what? Let's just throw this together. It's really quick spontaneous. And it's spontaneous, but we usually knock it out of the park. Like, we work well together. We've even been complimented by guests on how quick we throw these things together or how like quick we drop into these voices.
Then speaking of, we've only talked about the sponsors. I mean,
the recaps.
The recaps. Yeah. I think we've only premeditated one of those. I think Evan
it was
one
the
was the
first
only
elaborate one. I think.
I think Evan's episode. His recap was the only one that I wrote later, and we did later.
It was like because you were watching like Arrow and you saw like a preview.
Oh no, that was a different one. That was a different one. Evan, that one we did on the fly, but Evan's was I wanted it to theme it like his game, so I wrote something to go.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. And then you made it all creepy and stuff, and that was the only one that we recorded later. But most of the recaps, I write is like literally minutes before we record them.
So, you get maybe 5 to 10 minutes at most to write these things, and they are just. You've done great every time.
Yeah.
So kudos.
Yeah, I remember at one time when we had Travis on, he was like, "Did you just write that?" Like, holy crap! I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I don't know.
I love the Southern 8-bit Jim.
Southern 8-bit Jim was good. The one where Travis was on, and he was making fun of me for being like in the 1800s.
Right.
That one was good. Jim's General Store. I like the ones where I could be like, "Yeehaw!"
You do good at those. You know, and the genius part of it is that they all, well, most of them have some sort of tie-in with the episode that came before it. So you're not just writing something random. You're writing something and mixing in what we talked about on the last episode into it. The only one being the first really elaborate one that we did, which was the mishmash that sounded like a CW preview thing.
I just took lines from an actual recap from Arrow, and we did it in our own way. That
Who's
was
the man in this picture?
Yeah. And you get all the files from the security exchange. What are you looking for? Anything out of the ordinary.
That was good. And you know what? That was the one that pushed us to do more with these, because the original plan was just to have a quick, short little, thing. Like, if you listen to the first one, it's literally just me talking, and that's it. There's nothing else to it.
The very first one, it was the Oscorp one.
Yeah.
It was just,
and there's nothing to it. Yeah.
There's a joke. There's one joke, and it's simple and whatever. And we have some that are kind of like that. But yeah, now they always involve music, or there's some sort of parody or a fake commercial. Or
yeah, it started with that recap, and we just kept like, since you came up with that, and then I did that, I was like, I feel like I gotta keep that level going, or keep trying to raise the bar. Till it got to a point where I'm doing 12 hours for 3 minutes of audio, and I'm like, okay, this is too much.
Yeah, it's gotten to the point where we're gonna have to start dialing back on how much we're doing, because it is such a time sink. Not that it's not a great product at the end, but we really have to we need to improve our show before we improve everything
the sponsors
around
are better
it.
than the show sometimes. So
yeah.
Or most of the time. Yeah.
I know a couple other recaps now that I remember that I did after the fact. One was the VHS, like fast forwarding through the VHS and then getting to the fake. We recorded the video game lines before, but then I edited it all together with the sound effects and the clips from VHS stuff.
And I think that was the first one that you edited too.
I think so too. That was right around the time I discovered that you were just using Audacity. I was like, well, fuck, I can do that.
Even though, we're talking about how our more popular episodes are generally the ones with just the three of us, we have had some great guests on. So are there any real memorable guests you guys want to talk about? Just to start us out, of course, Doug Jones. Like, we have to talk about Doug.
Of course, Doug. He was fantastic.
One of the most amazing experiences that I've ever had with celebrity in my life. To take the time out to do that. And then be as generous as he was when we met him in person. It still just blows me away.
He remembered everything from the show, because he kept bringing up all these things that we talked about, and I'm like, I can't believe he remembers this much. And he even listened to some of the other shows on the network, which is crazy.
Which is extremely surprising, because no one else does.
Right.
But but also, like, it's just such a genuinely nice and loving person. Like, I don't think I've ever even hugged one of my parents for that long.
Right?
Oh, yeah, same here.
Unless I was, like, upset or hurt. Like,
or crying or something.
In my mind, right, I thought the best case scenario was he'd give us some time when we met him. And we'd be like, hey, remember when this happened? And we'd be like,
it's kind of
us would be the ones reliving it, and him going, just kind of politely going, yeah, that was cool, or
yeah.
But he was the one that was doing it towards us, and he was the one that was like, oh yeah, and you did this, and we're just like, yeah, that was cool, and he was the one that was excited to see us, and he wanted to relive the interview, like he wanted to relive that episode. It was amazing.
Yeah, and that's how we started a line at his booth, because he just stayed with us and talked for so long, and man, that was cool.
If you go to our YouTube channel, if you don't know, if you go to our YouTube channel, you can see Shaddai recorded the entire thing, so it's all there for you.
Looks good too.
It was a beautiful moment.
As far as guests, Evan Derrick was another really good one, and he was our first one we actually aired. But the prank call he did to Nintendo, I don't think I've ever laughed so hard in my entire life. I literally fell on the floor laughing during that episode, because, oh my god.
It was genius, and he played the part so well and stuck to it and kept a straight face. Somehow, we were all in the background just turning red.
Yeah. I had tears streaming down my face.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was crying so hard. And you know what? Like, that was maybe I think the 6th episode that we recorded.
Yeah.
And so it was the 7th time I've ever actually physically seen Joseph. I'd never seen him laugh so hard ever. Like, Joseph's always really well put together. Like, he'll laugh here and there, but like his face was beet red. You could see the veins like in his neck. He's like covering his face. It was hilarious just to see. Like, I like going back and watching each of our faces during that thing on the YouTube video part. So, oh man, it's funny.
And again, that's also on our YouTube channel. Chris actually has a separate. I'm gonna plug the shit out of it. If you don't want to watch the entire episode, he actually is a standalone version of just the prank call, and it's absolutely worth the time you watch it. It is hysterical.
I think it's called like what is it? Nintendo
Podcast
Troll by
Troll.
Podcast.
Yeah, Nintendo Troll by Podcast.
Remember when you thought you found the guy on Facebook or something?
Yeah, we thought we found him on Twitter. The guy, the Nintendo counselor. It wasn't him.
I found him on LinkedIn. That's what it was.
That's
I found
right.
the guy.
And then I found him on Facebook, and I sent him a message, and he denied that it was him.
Oh man!
Or maybe I found him on Twitter. I don't remember.
However, we did find out later that anytime a Nintendo employee like that talks to somebody about Nintendo without like Nintendo's blessing, like they get fired real quick.
Yeah.
So it could have been him and him just knowing that he can't talk about it.
Yeah.
So
they're like
it's true.
They're like Disney. You can't say anything bad about them.
We'll never know.
You will be fired.
Straight up denial. So guest-wise, some of my other ones have been, I know Kate Davis. That was a really fun guest.
Yeah, we're bringing her back for sure. And
excellent.
She's coming back for the Halloween episode. I already talked to her about it. She was amazing.
Good. Yeah, Wine Teeth.
Wine Teeth.
I'll still remember that. That's still
the return of Wine Teeth.
Yep.
Yeah.
For me, Miles from More You Nerd was a lot of fun to have. I enjoyed him, especially because he was the first. His podcast was the first podcast I really was listening to aside from Nerdist and Smodcast stuff. Like, it was the first independent nerdy podcast I listened to. So it was cool listening to his show for so long and then him coming on the show with us. And he had a blast. Like, he loved it and he wants to come back. So that's really awesome.
I still need to do some horror movie stuff with Miles.
Oh, yeah. He wants to do, like, some horror movie stuff so bad. So I'm thinking next October, like, back-to-back, we'll have to have Kate and Miles on. And it'll be a blast.
Yeah, for sure. We also had what is Arrow's name? The guy who
Jamie Stegmaier.
Yeah, we had Jamie Stegmaier, we call him the Stephen Amell of board games. Because he is dreamy.
He's a
good-looking dude, man.
That is a handsome fucking dude. And he was super nice about it too. Like super cool, super nice, and he sent a free copy of his board game, which is fun.
Right. He sent me one too. I forgot about that. He did send us free stuff.
Yep. He asked, he's like, you guys want you guys are all getting complimentary copies of our game, and I convinced you guys to get Euphoria because I already had it, and I got Viticulture, and it's I talked to him. I talked to him so cool. At least once a week, usually, just little conversations here and there, or like he interacts a lot with people in the board game community, like directly. Mm-hmm. And he's actually a member of the board game group that I'm on Facebook that I'm very active in. And he'll show up and then we'll discuss stuff. And if anyone ever says that, like, has a problem with a component or something and they post on there, he'll come in and be like, hey, I can help you with that. Yeah, his company's amazing. Awesome. His next game coming out, Scythe, is going to be phenomenal.
That looks
really
super
cool. Super nice guy.
Oh, yeah. I think that was the first time we actually got kind of a quote-unquote perk out of this show.
Yeah.
But aside from that, just all the networking that we've gotten done and basically all the friends we've made from this show, including my friendship with you guys, like there are so many perks that this show has brought about, even if we're still improving the show and it's not necessarily where we want it to be yet, we've gotten so much out of it, whether it be items or people. So it's been a lot of fun and very rewarding.
We have established a lot of friendships for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and Sarah. Like Sarah was just on several weeks ago, and now Sarah's actually like kind of in the mix, like helping out with the network and stuff. Like that friendship like blossomed really fast.
Yeah.
She just fit in really well. We wanted to make sure that she didn't go anywhere, so
we trapped her in a group.
I mean, and she was a listener, and that's the other cool thing is we have had a few listeners that have reached out to us, and they actively, participate in things. And Sarah was one of them. She's done tons of fan art for us because she's a weirdo, and we talk. Well, it's perfect. It's a perfect situation because we talk about dicks constantly, and she's really good at drawing them. So
that's true.
And sometimes we are dicks ourselves.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
And we have a listener that's going to be on the next episode, too.
It's true.
Following
Oh,
the
yeah.
We've talked about him a whole bunch. We'll reveal that next. Yeah,
You have heard his name.
very true.
One more guest that I wanted to bring up that I enjoyed was Joe from Bad Weather Brewing, who was on our
Joe
Halloween
was
special. He was a lot of fun. And just because, like, since we're talking about, I do want to bring this up, which is that, and this is a little somber thing, is that Joe did lose a family member recently, and it was his sister-in-law. If you do live in the Minnesota area, they're having a big benefit for his niece, who is now without parents. I mean, she's just a little toddler and stuff. So
She's like 2 years old.
yeah. So I mean, they really, the family's gonna need some help to raise the niece and everything like that. You know, she's gonna need help for school and all kinds of stuff. So if you are anywhere in the North area or in Minnesota, Sunday, January 17th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Layton's Pickle Park in Minneapolis. Swing by there. They're going to have silent auctions. They're going to have a bunch of beer. So if you are listening to this, you're a beer lover and you live up north, go there and just, give some support.
If you don't live up north, they actually do have a GoFundMe page, too, that's going to help with some of her expenses. We'll put that link in the description with everything we put this on as well. And I'll throw it up on our Facebook as well.
Right.
It's already raised a bunch of money for her, and it's really heartwarming to people that have come forward. It's a really tragic situation. We were I was affected pretty deeply when I found out about it. And,
I really was too. Like, I honestly, like...
It's an entire bad situation that we don't need to get into, but she definitely needs the help. So if that's something you want to support, you can read her story and see what's going on. But Joe was a fantastic guest. Once the dust settles from this, I'm still going to be trying to do some tabletop stuff with him at his amazing tap room. And that, the other thing, just go into Bad Weather Brewing. It's in St. Paul. It's a couple blocks away from the Excel Energy Center. It's an amazing building. Their beer is some of the best I've ever had. I drink a lot of beer. I drink beer every other Tuesday. I try to drink new beers all the time. I think I've accumulated in the last year a pretty decent knowledge of what I like and what I don't like. And when this is not high, I'm not just tooting his horn because he was on the show or he's my friend. His beer is the best I've ever had, period. So
that's excellent. So shout out to Joe and, our condolences.
Just to try to get out of the somber moment and to get back up. Yeah. Shaddai was a lot of fun. Shaddai was
great.
Last week. And
it's funny that you say that. I don't even consider Shaddai a guest anymore because she's on all my other shows with me.
Right.
So
For us,
she was
though.
kind of a guest on this show. She's way more personable than I am, so automatically
she makes up for your shortcomings. That's the way it's supposed to work.
Exactly. We balance out well.
Let's just do this. Let's talk about the guests we didn't have. We've alluded to this a couple times now, where I'm done. I don't even care anymore. He can come at me, bro. I don't give a shit. We had a guest where for months we were talking to his handler to get him on the show, and at the 0 hour they busted out, okay, he's got it penciled in. We'll just wait for his standard $500 appearance fee.
After we had pretty much signed all the lines and we're like, yeah, let's do this. That was the first time they brought that up.
And we were ready to have him on our show.
Yeah,
it
was
right,
like the next day he was going to be on
we
his
were planning
shit.
it.
That's something that you preface with, not come out of the woodworks with way later.
Yeah.
And
just
who was
say it up
this
front.
mystery person? Because we did not name him.
Yeah, fuck it. It's George Lowe. He was
a
the voice
of
Space Ghost, not the original Space Ghost, but the new age Coast to Coast Space Ghost and Space Ghost the cartoon show. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Coast to Coast.
Well, there was the other one. There was Coast to Coast, and then they had the Saturday morning, they would show the old cartoons, but then they'd have skits in the beginning and end of it.
Oh shit! I didn't even know about that one. Fuck.
I can't remember the name of that.
Either way, fuck you.
But honestly, yeah, I grew up loving that shit. And then that son of a bitch has to be like, oh yeah, $500 for you to be an hour to be on Skype. What the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What have you done lately, you piece of shit? You really think your time is that valuable? We're blessed with your presence that we need to pay you $500 fucking dollars so you could talk. Dude, fucking Doug Jones has been to the Academy Awards, you son of a bitch, and he did it for the gracious of the heart for free, and we're friends with him now. Meanwhile, George Lowe, the great George Lowe, who did the fucking an impression of someone else's fucking character, Not even as like a character that he came up with. He just like his own version of some other like reanimated piece of shit, and he wants $500. Fuck off. I'm so happy I got that out finally.
It's been brewing for a while.
And if for whatever reason, if George Lowe hears this, come at us. I don't give a shit. They didn't do nothing. I want people to know you're an asshole.
This is probably a good time to move to the next part.
Yeah.
I'm almost finished my beer. I'm opening my other hug. My little fruit barrel.
So I'm going to combine the next two into, so what are some of our funniest moments and overall favorite moments of the show?
I can't think of much unless Jim's got something, but
no,
we covered most of the stuff.
Rehashing. So
a lot of the funny moments were just when we fucked things up, and like
when we're terrible, that's funny to me.
And a lot of those are things that you guys don't see. There's one video out there of outtakes just from the first few episodes, and those were some of them. We've had some pretty good ones since then, but I mean, maybe we'll put out another outtake sometime. I don't know. That's in the future if that ever comes out.
Yeah, we don't even do video anymore, so.
For now, I'd like to reintroduce video at some point, but unedited, just kind of raw video where we can just stream it straight into the YouTube channel and not have to worry about fucking with it later.
And that ties in with the next topic, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. So is there anything else you guys want to happen in the coming year with the show?
Well, I want to be the next Nerdist.
Anything realistic?
Yeah, no.
I just want to add the word hard to my last name.
Chris Hardcone.
Hardcone? I don't know.
Hardcone?
No, I don't know. I mean, we always want to make the show better, and the one thing I would love to see more of is more people interacting, like more listeners interacting with us. I would love to see more listeners giving us feedback, talking to us about the show, you know, what we talked about on the show on the Facebook page, that kind of stuff. I wish we had more of that, like, discussion stuff going on, but I suppose we need listeners for that, so.
That's true.
Yeah, I think that's something we can build up, though, as we improve from the ground up and start to learn how to network better. I think that's our big problem, because I don't think we have a bad show. Some of them are, sure.
Some of them are
at least.
But
but those are fun. Those are bad in a fun way. They're like B movies. We're like a B podcast. We're bad, but in a fun way. Exactly. So therefore, I think that we have the power, we have the capacity to get out there.
We have the technology.
We just don't have a lot of money.
We just don't have the knowledge of how to network right, but we're gaining that, and we're getting all this. We're getting these friends that can help us out with that. So I think that we're just going to keep improving from here. And once we're able to spread the word better, I think that, like you said, Jim, people will start interacting more, and we'll be able to basically be fed content, so we don't have to come up with anything anymore. That's my dream. If I don't have to think of anything,
you do it. I don't give a shit.
I think as far as things that I want to do in the future, like I would love to make more time to have more shows. I don't know how like that would work out, because I mean I'm doing 2 right now. Joseph's doing a bunch.
I do 1 1/4.
Yeah, Jim does 1 1/4. Yeah, I would love to do more stuff for YouTube with this show.
We've been trying forever to do that the Nerds on Tap gaming crap.
Yeah, we want to do some. We want to stream some gaming and stuff like that. That would be a lot of fun. Just don't swat us.
That's doable. It's complicated as shit sometimes, and especially with the 3 of us being in different places, like that adds to the complication of it. But not impossible. So we'll work it out, just like the YouTube channel stuff, or just like the streaming video stuff. And all of this is coming. No, I'm not even going to say soon. It's coming.
Literally.
All over our face.
All over the place. The only other things I can think of that I want to do is I would love to do more of the horrible fan fiction stuff, because we have one out. We have one that's just been in production for like ever, and hopefully will be out at some point. I would love to do more, especially because somebody accidentally emailed me fan fiction that they wrote involving Pokemon, and it's too funny not to do. I've been trying to get him to send me more, and he's not responding, but it's going to happen. If anything else, I will make this one happen, but I would love to do more of those. Yeah, that would be fun. And is there any guests that you guys want to have on? For me personally, and you guys are probably sick of me talking about this guy, I am determined to get Smooth McGroove on this freaking podcast one of these days to talk about video game music. If you don't know Smooth McGroove, go to YouTube, just type in Smooth McGroove, and you will thank me later.
I emailed James and Mike from Cinemassacre, the Angry Video Game Nerd, and I'd love to hear back from them sometime.
That would be good. That'd be good.
That'd be a lot of fun. I don't know, personally. I mean, there's just so many people out there. I can't name anybody specifically that I'd want on. Absolutely.
Oh, Joseph.
What?
Ming.
Oh, yeah.
You have to get Ming.
I think that would be totally doable. I've seen Ming from, Smodco and Comic Book Man, et cetera, wherever you know him from. I've seen him many times now. Like, I've gone to so many cons. I've gone to Jersey, seen him in the actual shop.
You were on his show
podcasted with him. Yeah. And so and he loves to drink and talk about nerdy things. So that's completely achievable. That's right up our alley. I think that's something we could definitely do in the new year. I'm going to reach out to him and actually see if he would be interested in doing that. I don't see why not. So
yeah, it would be a blast. He would be a great fit. So
completely. Exciting. I think, absolutely that could happen. We'll see. This has been a fun recap of the year. If there's nothing else we need to talk about, let's start wrapping it up. And is there anything we need to pitch out there?
Don't forget about the thing we talked about with Joe. The event is Remembering Addie, ADDIE. If you look that up, you'll find information about it. They have a page on Facebook. You can get a bunch of info. And then, like Jim said, there's a GoFundMe. So please check that out. I would consider us and all of our guests and a lot of our listeners for that point, like we're like a big nerd family, and one of our nerds needs some support. So please help him and his family out.
Absolutely. And to reach out to us if you want to, for whatever reason, you can find us on most social media things. You can email us. You can do all these different things to get to us. I think we're the only Nerds on Tap out there. So just look up Nerds on Tap and you'll find everything.
There's one Spanish version.
Oh, really?
They haven't been active for a couple years.
Okay, well, we're the Nerds on Tap who are still active, and we're not. Well, I'm half Hispanic, so
yeah.
Maybe I was part of the old Nerds on Tap, and you guys don't know it. But now I'm here, and I'm here to stay.
Perfect.
This has been Nerds on Tap. I'm Joseph.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jim.
And cheers, nerds.
Drink like a nerd. Thank you guys for all of your listening and support for the last year and whatever the fuck.
Sorry for that episode.
Thanks to everybody, and sorry for that episode.
Anyone need to pee?
Alfred, I need information from the back computer.
Ah, Master Bruce. How goes the raid on Arkham?
I have these names, Chris, Jim, and Joseph. They call themselves Nerds on Tap.
It says here, sir, that they can be found on Twitter at nerds_on_tap and on Facebook and iTunes. They even have a YouTube channel with all their episodes as well as other content. I'm watching it right now. It's nerdy, but quite good, sir.
These three need to be brought to justice. I will rid Gotham of their nerdiness. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am the Batman.